Hey, hello there, this is RJB for RJB TV. And today we're going to look at a match between Lee Baku and... No, not Lee Baku. I'm completely wrong here. I mean JH, aka Voss, against KangTaeWan. Because that is the next match in the tournament, the semi-final. Both these players managed to win their sets, and they did so in a pretty convincing and well-played manner. KangTaeWan beat Lee Baku, which is of course very impressive in and of itself. He even beat him Zerk against Protoss. And now we're looking at a Protoss against Terran. JH beat someone else, but I forgot his name, excuse me, but it's also a person that I've never seen before in my life. It was hard to remember someone that I saw for the first time, and I honestly don't know, besides the name that I was provided in this tournament. So yeah, now we've got Janus, aka JH, or Boss, here on the white, pink, is this pink? Yeah, that's the pink Protoss, that's the pink color. It's very difficult to see the pink, in my opinion. It could be something else, but I'm not sure. It's just very difficult. Why did they ever introduce these colors? That's the big question. Why did they introduce these colors? It just makes the game so much harder to read. I mean, the colors are pretty. I'll give them that. It's a pretty color. Looks pretty cool, but it's hard to read the color. It's hard to differentiate from, like, there's white, then there's light something, pale something, then there's gray as well, which also kind of looks the same. Anyway, got KangTaeWan here on the other side of the map. He's playing the Terran, the blue Terran. This is actually the pale blue. So both players are playing on colors not in the original color scheme, but the colors do look nicely different, and that's what matters here. The colors are distinctive. But that all aside, KangTaeWan is once again going for a mech opening. He really likes to go for double factory after the barracks and style on his opponent with some beautiful vulture control. JH, on the other hand, is famous for going for a 3 gateway build order that I don't often really see work out all that well. He isn't even getting a +1 Nexus, straight going for the gas, no Nexus, no Cybercore yet either, because he can't afford it. The Cybercore gets delayed by quite a significant amount of time by going for the 3 gateway build order. The 3 gateway build order, though, does give him some small advantages in the early game. He has some real punching power, and that punching power from the 3 gateways might just be what he needs to deal some damage here against his Terran. KangTaeWan is actually one of a top amateur player. Like, I figured out that KangTaeWan is the player Bjöll. He's a Terran player. He's basically on the pro level. Although on the lower end of the pro level, but he is on the pro level. He's also known as Gull Sword. Gull means honey, I think, so it's basically honey sword. Honey Bjöll. Bjöll means sword, if I am correct. I'm not too sure. I've been learning some Korean over the past 2 weeks, and it's kind of fun. I've managed to read Korean now a little bit better than before. I mean, before I could barely read it. I just knew what some of the sounds were of the alphabet, but now I can actually read some Korean. So I'm hoping to be able to read Korean for real in about half a year when I'm done with learning Korean. Anyway, here the Zealots arrive on the scene, but the Vulture's already spawning there and on the way. The Marines there do go down. No, the Marines will somehow stay alive, or are they all gonna go down before the Vultures finish them off? More Zealots are coming on the scene. Yes, all the Marines will go down, but the Vultures there getting microed expertly by KangTaeWan, who is really displaying that he really is a Terran master at this game. Some of the SVs there are getting hunted and getting taken down there in the back. One more SV will go down there as well. The Zealots will go down in the end as well, though, but looks like more Zealots have arrived, but it looks like JH couldn't really deal the amount of damage that he had to do. But at least he is keeping KangTaeWan occupied. But the Vulture, SV there managed to slip through into JH's base, gonna get some information. Cybercore there on the way, he's going for Dragoons. Actually a really smart and great mix-up there, but he's got a machine shop, double machine shop on the way, but in the back, so he will get mines and speed for sure, and the mines will keep those Dragoons away for a little while, but the Dragoons are already spawned and already on the way to start hunting some Vultures, and Vultures, historically speaking, have done very poorly against Dragoons specifically. because Dragoons are medium-sized units, and Vultures only really do the full damage against small-sized units, because they have concussive damage on the fragmentation grenade, as they call it. Oh, pretty smart to micro around that barracks there, but now the Dragoons are penetrating all the way in through the backside there. Going for some backside action, going onto the SCVs there, going to try to stop and prevent that command from going down, but Dragoons themselves also don't really deal a lot of damage against SCVs. They do a lot of damage against tanks there though, chasing the tanks around, but the tanks just spawn just in time. Great mix-up there to go for the tanks and to get the mine and speed there as well. So KangTaeWan handles himself with ease, prevents... Well, he took some damage there, lost some Vultures, lost some SCVs, got slowed down here and there just a little bit. But the two tanks that are now out on the map definitely give him a huge edge over those Dragoons. Dragoons have range finishing up very soon as well. No siege mode is needed because unsieged tanks are very strong against Dragoons and Zealots, and you can migrate them very easily. And the Vultures are also there to just keep supporting and place down the mines and make life very difficult for those Dragoons. Also, tank range, as you can see, is pretty nifty. But the amount of Dragoons has grown quite significantly. He's going to try to get a mine drag going there, but he fails. He kills the SV and a Vulture, but also loses his own Dragoon there in the end. He's going to try another mine drag, but the Dragoons go down too fast for the mines to explode onto the tanks. And KangTaeWan defends himself once again. Some great control, great micro. JH tried to out-micro him, but it really testifies to KangTaeWan's micro skills that he couldn't get out-micro, but had the edge in micro every single time and time again. The Dragoons are balling up in the front once again though. We just have another Nexus on the way there back at home, and some pylons to fill out the base as well, and a robo facility there also on the way. Goes in for another exchange there. Gonna try to trigger some mines and try to kill the barracks there, but I don't think this will work out all that well for him, because the tanks are still pretty far away and using their range very effectively. You don't even need siege mode. It's just so beautiful to watch someone who actually really understands Terran's strengths so well, and as well as KangTaeWan does. This is really impressive stuff here. Keeping that build order from JH at bay and away with just unsieged tanks. And now the tanks are sieging up, which is going to mean that these Dragoons are never going to get in there again. These Dragoons are forever going to have to stay away because the tanks are simply too strong there in the back, well, in the front. The army there in the back as well for Goliaths. He's going to need Goliaths against those shuttle drops for sure, because otherwise he has no units that can shoot into the air. He needs Goliaths right here, right now, because it does look like shuttle drops are on the menu. He's moving his Teku on the bottom side, support there on the way, so it's going to be a double Reaver. When the shuttle finishes, 2 Reavers will be queued up. More Dragoons are being added on there as well. Going to send them to the sides, or just splitting them up over. He's going to split them up all over the map, just to keep some control over the map. Get himself side vision, because it is a real option for KangTaeWan to go for a starport and to go for a tank drop on those probes. He isn't doing it though. He's focusing on just getting more factors to defend himself, just in case JH has somehow managed to get a massive army, which he doesn't, and he's not going for a massive army just yet. He's switching up to a lot of Zealots though, and the Citadel of Adun, they're also on the way on the bottom side of the base. Double Reaver there on the way, so he's going to switch into Zealots, because he needs all the gas that he's got coming in on drops. He needs to progress his tech, he needs to get the Templar's Archive, he needs to get Storm, Shuttle Speed, Reavers, Zealot Speed, upgrades. All the gas is now going to Zealots. Well, I mean, all the gateway production time is going to Zealots, and the gas is going towards technology. The Dragoons have served their purpose, so no longer a need for Dragoons. Whereas KangTaeWan is slowly progressing now, 35 SCVs, only mining from 2 refineries. Apparently that is exactly the amount he needs. But 4 Goliaths on the way to deal with that and to deal with the shuttles. And we've seen in the past already that he has significant, or well, not significant, but impressive control on those Goliaths. Impressive control on the Goliaths. He really knows how to find those shuttles. And he has great awareness on the map as well. He will always, basically never will a single shuttle slip through and catch him off guard. He has great awareness. And this one shuttle on the top side there is going to fly in over some turrets. The Goliaths are positioned correctly. Maybe no trouble taking down that shuttle. The 2 Reavers there unload. Only a single one unloads. He takes down the Reaver with a mine and a single shot from the Goliaths. And the Scarab doesn't even explode. So very easily defended there by KangTaeWan. KangTaeWan. I'm not sure how to pronounce it actually. I think it's somewhere in between KangTaeWan or KangTaeWan. The Koreans don't really say, well, they do sometimes, but not in this specific case. It's more like a gang, but gang is wrong as well. It's close to Gung. I'm just rambling now over nonsense, but it can be a bit of a tricky language sometimes, the Korean language. He's fortifying the front, fortifying the top side, fortifying the left or right side as well. And JH is scrambling, trying to get big and massive as fast as he can, because there's going to be a moment when this third command center finishes that KangTaeWan is going to explode in army size. He's got 5 factories now at the moment. 5 factories has been enough so far. He's placing mines on the sides just in case units try to unload on the sides. The mines will trigger and kill them within the blink of an eye. You might actually see it happen right here, right now, with these shuttles coming in from the right side of the map. We'll try to fly in over that little hill here. You really do feel that he's gonna unload there onto the mines. Yeah, he's gonna load on the mines, but he's only zealous. He's gonna try to go for the SCVs there, but does Goliaths take down the shuttles with ease, relative ease. Never really under a threat. 3 gas now. Army is doing its job there. Got level 1 attack, and all the tanks finished up. Starport Science Facility, he's really slowly adding on everything he needs. His minerals are a little bit low, but he's only on 48 SCVs compared to 80 probes there from JH. He's really shooting ahead really fast with the triple Nexus build order after he did that little rush that didn't really do all that much. But doing something is always better than doing nothing at all. Mixing it up there with a mass shuttle drop there, 6 shuttles there on the way. Reavers, Templars, Zealots, although he's splitting them up, sending 4 ahead of the other group. So it's going to be a 4 shuttle drop followed up by probably a 5 or 4 shuttle drop right afterwards. Also Fleet Beacon there on the top side for carriers. He really likes to go carriers. Got Stargate there on the way there on the bottom side. Shuttle drop there also going to be flying in once again over the bottom right off the base. This time around there's a lot more turrets there though, and Goliaths there ready to take some shuttles out of the air. Starts to load there. You might get some Templars there on the scene. Starts to storm on the SCVs. He kills about a dozen of them. Actually, might have killed about 30 of them in total. Went down from about 59, maybe 60 SCVs down to 30. That's a pretty strong, significant hit. It's a pretty strong, significant hit, but KangTaeWan has himself a nice little amount of time to recover. Because there's actually only a shuttle drop on the way. There's no army. There's no army. There's literally no army from JH yet. He does have carriers on the way, but as we mentioned before, KangTaeWan has Goliaths. Goliaths do pretty well against carriers, so he can probably defend himself quite well. All that matters at the moment is, can he defend himself against the next shuttle drop? Will the next shuttle drop hit him hard, or will it just slowly give him a love tap? Like, if it gives him a love tap, nothing's gonna really hurt him too much. If it's like a real sucker punch in the face, now that is gonna be a game ender. The game is looking good for now. Got some scans going down there in the front. Sees that there's no shuttles present at the load-up area. So shuttle drop there might be on the way. Something is wrong with my mouse. I'm overshooting by quite a bit. Something is wrong with my mouse. Definitely something wrong with my mouse, but I'm not going to check it out right now. I'll check it out after the shuttle drop. The shuttle drop there comes in once again, fly over the top side, but the Goliaths this time around once again take him down without much issue. Templars though do arrive on the scene. Templar storms on one side. Templar kills only 4. Ooh, if he had stormed just a little bit more to the right, and that could have been a game ender. But you know, sometimes you just have to storm because you don't know how many tanks there are in the back, and you just want to storm as fast as you can. Because if the Templar gets shut down by the tanks before it can storm, you get nothing. Now, it wasn't an optimal storm, but you know, you get something, and getting something is always better than getting nothing. So it's hard to really hold that against JH, who now has a completely filled out base. Got carriers there finished up there on the bottom side with upgrades, but I can't really see what upgrades they have. Level 1 armor. Level 0 shields. I don't know if they have level 1 attack, because I can't see it. Like, I can't see if it's level 1 attack or level 2 attack. It's got finished. I mean, it's safe to assume it's going to be level 1 armor, level 1 attack on the carriers. Gonna have to wait until something like an interceptor pops out. If If no interceptor is going to pop out, we'll never ever find out the truth. The mouse settings are all okay. Nothing is wrong with my mouse settings. So it's just, I'm overshooting for no reason. Once again, the shuttle's loading up. Zealot there, gonna give its life for greater good. Open up some supply space. Carrier's making interceptors, adding on more Stargates just in case he needs more of them. It's always better to have like 20 Stargates than it has to have 6, because having 6 only allows you to make 6 carriers at a time. Now JH is famous for not really paying much attention to what his base looks like. I think it looks kind of like a mess to me. That's very organized, but he's got everything he needs. Every little tiny space in his base is getting filled up with a structure. We're finally going to see whether these carriers have level 1, level 2 weapon or level 1 weapon. Shuttle's there on the scene as well. Level 1 weapon or level 2 weapon for the air is finishing up in a matter of seconds. He's got an Arbiter Tribunal on the way in the base as well. KangTaeWan is maxed out. He's got 68 SCVs, got a lot of Goliaths, a lot of tanks actually. Carriers coming in from the bottom right. Once again, that's his preferred choice of direction. Shuttle's coming in as well. KangTaeWan focusing on the shuttles, going to try to take it down before they arrive on the minerals. One of the shuttle makes it through. There's a Templar in there, but the Templar is taken down by the tank shots immediately. The other carriers taking out the turrets, opening up a hole, being annoying, killing Goliaths as well, but now more Goliaths coming in from the other side of the base to take care of the interceptors or just focus fire on the carriers themselves. There's 12 carriers on the scene. Upgrades are on 112, so actually he didn't have level 2 weapon just finished just now. It's a pretty strong carry. It's taking off all of the turrets on the side. It's being a major pain in the butt for KangTaeWan, but KangTaeWan fights off the carriers somewhat. We know he only lost 2 carriers, almost lost 3 of them, but he did what he wanted to do, kill a lot of Goliaths, kill a lot of turrets as well on the side there. KangTaeWan is going to have to rebuild all of them, which is honestly, when you're playing Terran and you lose this entire row of turrets, it's very annoying to have to rebuild 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You have to rebuild 15 turrets. It's annoying. I mean, the cost isn't very high, only 75 apiece, but still it is annoying to go through the entire motion of rebuilding all of them, when you'd rather just go for an attack or build your factories and focus on other things. Weird placement for those depots and armories, but you know, he's getting them there. Once again, fight between carriers and Goliaths. Carriers up on the hill, difficult to see and spot there because he can't actually see them. He needs vision up on the hill. Drop comes in from the other side of the map, but the raids take them down with expert micro and focus. It was really well done, and the awareness is so great. A lot of players would be so distracted by the carriers coming in from the bottom right that they wouldn't notice the shuttles coming in from the top left. Goes for the main command center there. The main command center is going to get repaired. The raids are taking down the carriers so fast, and this might just be a massive mistake here from JH. The command center there barely stays alive. Barely. It goes down in the end after all. He couldn't repair it for long enough. The carriers, in the end, will go down through the raids. The raids are currently on level 0 upgrades. That is why it took so long to take down those carriers. He doesn't have ship upgrades. That's why it took so long. If he had like level 1 or level 2 attack on those raids, the carriers would have melted way faster and he would probably have saved his command center. He still has armories though. JH took down all the armories on the bottom side to stop Goliath production, but KangTaeWan has all of the Goliaths finished and still has 2 armories for Goliath production. Now he's only on 10 factories. Not a lot of production, didn't rebuild his turrets on the side, now going for the attack. He scanned the entire base. Oh no, he didn't scan the entire base, I just had the vision turned off. Of course I did. Once again, ooh, isn't such a beautiful move there. He saw the shuttles move out with the scan and is splitting up his race to hunt them down, fight them successfully, dodging the storm as well. All the shuttles have gone down on the courses they're on the chase, and now he's arriving at the front door of JH's base, gonna try to bust it down there with the tanks. Tanks at level 1, 2. Level 2, 3 is on the way. Still no air upgrades on the way. Carriers are close spawning. Arbiter spawns as well. So he's got Arbiters, level 2, 2, 2 for the air. Level 3 attack soon finishing up as well. Level 3 armor also on the way. Level 3 shields lagging behind by a little bit. He's also getting his ground upgrades. Most players would completely forget their ground upgrades. That's something, for some reason, that a lot of players tend to forget. He's getting all the upgrades he needs, so whenever he loses all of his carriers, he can still switch over into a ground force. He's being very consistent and diligent with what he's focusing on. He's not missing a single detail. Comes in with the attack, gonna try to bust through this little fortification there in the front. The Raids being very aggressive there. Gonna try to hunt down those carriers. Take two of them, well, take one of them down. But because they don't have upgrades, they melt like butter in a hot frying pan. And now the carriers come back in to try to clear out some of the tanks to stop the push. But there's so many Goliaths there that, nope, this is not gonna happen. Not gonna happen, JH. Gonna have to pull back into your base. Tanks once again siege up there in the front. Scan comes down to detect the carriers. Gonna try to hunt them down once again, but there's so many cannons here in the front that the Raids can't really physically go in. And JH just keeps sending small groups of zealots into the meat grinder to keep those tanks away for now. They do so quite successfully. The tanks aren't really pushing forward all that much. They cleared out a couple of cannons there, but not really progressing much more. Still only on 10 factories. He's not planning on building more. He wants to just stick to those 10 and dominate the game with only 10 factories, but that might come back to haunt him once he loses his master on the middle. And the beautiful stasis there will slow KangTaeWan down, buy JH some time, and the zealots there might just clear out those tanks here, although they do take a lot of damage and kind of melt. But once again, the carriers go in for the fight. The Lions get microed really well there in the backside to keep as much damage or stay away from the zealots as best as he can. The carriers losing all of the interceptors, but another wave of carriers are spawning in the back. He's got 8 carriers in total. Might have more somewhere else. No, just 8 carriers he's got there. Those 8 carriers should be enough for now, because I only count 12 Goliaths. A lot of tanks are in the mix though. A lot of tanks are in the mix. One single lone raid still fighting back. There's no observers, so the raid here are gonna keep killing lots of stuff. Storms coming down on the tanks in the back. The storms really helping out reduce the number of tanks. Push is still at a standstill. He's still not really progressing forward. The carriers taking critical amounts of damage, but lost 2 of them already. Dark Templars are being made and thrown into the mix. You got an Observer now there in the front, but the Raids should lose some of their effectiveness. Observer pulls to safety just in time. Carriers decide to go back in once again. He throws down a stasis on some Raids and tanks, but most of the Raids are stay alive, don't get stuck in the stasis, but still he pushes back those Terran units with the carrier control in and out, and very consistently producing zealots, always rallying them to the front and sending them into the fray to buy himself some time. And as I said before, KangTaeWan doesn't really have a lot of factories, and I think that is really hurting him. It's really hurting him because he isn't remaxing as fast as he could or should be. Like, just look at the difference. JH has got so many gateways, so many stargates, that at some point, KangTaeWan will start to suffer from not having enough production. He's got the minerals, he's got some of the gas as well to do it, but I just think he's got too few production structures. Too few factories. But maybe he's gonna prove me wrong. Because he's pushing through and killing all the carriers, pushing them back into their base. Really great job there from KangTaeWan. Control is insane. That's there in the front as well to detect an observer, and of course to maybe get some EMPs down on the Arbiter to stop future stages from happening. Other 8 carriers have been queued up. This time around he's going for more carriers. He was on 8. Now he's going for a total of 11. Unless these of course do go down, then he'll be back to 8. The fight here is still a back and forth, but the amount of units here in the front has shrunk tremendously. Before we were looking at 12 Goliaths, 12 tanks, now it's 5 tanks, 3 Goliaths. Disruptor Raptor comes down, EMP comes down on the carriers, great EMP. More units coming from the base this time around. I think that's about 12 Goliaths there coming out in total. So they are going to have a great time pushing those carriers once again back into the base, but more carriers are once again spawning at the Stargates, and that's why he has so many Stargates. He's never going to not be maxed out. So many Stargates, so many gateways, Stargates, gateways. Yeah, gateways, Stargates. For some reason I got confused. But the fight is still a back and forth, and KangTaeWan is once again sieging up there in the front to proceed to push to get deeper into that base, but JH still using the hills there to keep the Goliaths in a difficult position. Scan comes out. I'm gonna highlight this. You need vision up on the hill there to fight against the carriers. He does have some vision there up on the hill, not a lot. But he's got some vision there. Another scan there comes down. This actually looks quite menacing, quite scary from the Terran's perspective. So yeah, he's pushing forward slowly but surely. He hasn't really made any progress over the last 5 minutes or so. Both players just pushing back and forth, not relenting. KangTaeWan is not giving up his position here in front of the base, and JH is not giving up his position here in his own base. He hasn't used any drops for a while. I think that if JH kept using drops to kill some SCVs, he could win this game pretty quick, but KangTaeWan is running out of minerals. His minerals has shrunk from about 5,000 to below 1,000. His gas is consistently pretty low, so remaxing is looking to be quite difficult for him at this point into the match. Although, beautiful fight here. Once again, Goliaths once again pushing the carriers back into the base, but the carriers retreat to the cannons. Tanks once again still cannot really progress forward all that much. Most of the interceptors have gone down. Zealot's still spawning, Zealot's still going in, he's maxed out on upgrades. KangTaeWan is almost maxed out on upgrades, only his armor still on the way. The air upgrades for JH are maxed out as well, so he's completely maxed out on upgrades. And KangTaeWan is lagging behind by a tiny little bit, but he'll soon catch up and be on 3-3 as well. A lot of vessel there in production and on the way for an EMP and detection. He probably needs a couple more SCVs there. Once again, mass Zealots coming in to try to break through. Gonna kill some Goliaths, some tanks there, but not really all that many. A couple of them. The carriers are doing most of the work, but the interceptors can take it down so quick that they're not really posing much of a threat. Always preparing a drop. This is exactly what he has to do. JH is realizing that he cannot keep KangTaeWan out of his base, so he sends out the shuttle drop to try and end the game. And, well, basically remove all the income that KangTaeWan has. He also killed his own probes. He's only on 32 probes. He's running out of money himself. Both players are running out of money for different reasons. JH killed his own workers and pretty much is broke. KangTaeWan now gonna get stormed to death there, though. Or Sentry. There's a Templar in there. There's 2 Templars in there. 3 Templars in there. Templar lows. Templar gonna storm on the SCV. He's gonna storm on a couple more SCV. He kills about 20 of them. More Sonarcon. I still might be one more. Nope. Templars have died. Breaking into the base here, though. He's breaking into the base, but he's running out of money. But so is JH. Both players are running out of money. Oh, he loses the vessel. There's not many Goliaths left there. The Archon goes down just in time. And here it looks like KangTaeWan is somewhat managing to push JH back, but JH is broke. JH was a little bit too eager with killing his own workers, but KangTaeWan is also struggling with his money. Both players are struggling with their money. How is this going to end? This is close, but it's close for a stupid reason. And both players are broke. They're fighting really hard though, but they're both broke. But the Goliaths here might turn the tide. JH is running out of money faster than KangTaeWan is. JH is putting all of his probes back to work though. About 34 probes working, maybe 32. The carrier is still fighting really well. A lot of Zealots have spawned. JH basically has a massive army. And a lot of carriers still on the way. The Goliaths all getting stormed to death, and the Zealots also do a great job of reducing the amount of Goliaths. And KangTaeWan is not rebuilding his SCVs back at home. His army is shrinking faster than JH's. This little fun fact, JH has a lot of gas, so he doesn't need to mine any more gas, so all his probes are on the minerals, whereas KangTaeWan still needs gas. So he's still, of course, mining gas. And he doesn't have a lot of it. At least inside the base there though, but a lot of gateway units are bound to be spawning. Actually, he only has 4 gateway units on the way. But his money is recovering though. He's got another storm drop there on the way, flying over the bottom side of the map, and there's nothing in between to stop it. If this storm drop hits, it's game over for KangTaeWan. If it misses, it might be game over for JH. I'm not sure how this will go. It all depends on how well KangTaeWan can deal with that shuttle drop there on the bottom side. Once again, moves himself deeper into the base. This fight here, this Goliath control has been so well done by KangTaeWan, but I do fear that this might be the game. He's not pulling his SCVs away. He's not responding. The Templars are going to storm an SCVs, and all the storms killing all the SCVs. Pretty much all the SCVs have died. And now there's an Archon on the way there as well, and there's nothing to kill the Archon and stop the Archon from morphing. still pushing people into the base, but now he's got Dark Templars there as well. JH's money is somewhat coming back into the bank, somewhat making a lot of zealots once again. The Goliaths are slowly... He's only got 98 supply. He's fighting really well against the carriers, but the carriers are just stronger than these Goliaths. Disruption Web there, though, might save the day. That little tiny moment where he couldn't attack might have changed the game completely. KangTaeWan still not making new SCVs, he's just running out of money, he's just letting himself bleed out. And all the disruption webs there are such a beautiful sight to behold. I do think that's the game. I'm gonna quickly make a screenshot there because this is a beautiful screenshot there. Ooh, beautiful screenshot. Yeah, that looks to be the game. I feel that this might be it. Like, the game is over. There's no comeback there. KangTaeWan realizes that he has lost the game. JH came out clutch, but it's more so KangTaeWan neglecting some of his defenses, but he played that really, really well. He played it really well. He had just insane Goliath control, insane fighting ability against those carriers. JH defended really well, but KangTaeWan, with almost no money whatsoever, did get into JH's base with pure control and consistent production with the little bit of money that he did have. With the little bit of money that he did have. So that's gonna be a win here for JH. And the loss for KangTaeWan. This is of course also a best of 5. And this is part number 1. So I hope to see you return for part number 2 whenever it is uploaded. Hope you enjoyed the video. And see you next time.